Hi, my name is April Heather Smith, and this is my video recording for my signature project, Stage 2. I am at the University of West Alabama, and I am receiving my master's degree in early childhood education. My signature project was titled, Will Daily Recess Time Improve Student Behavior? So I focused on, recess time and how to improve student behavior in the classroom. Many schools today, recess time is getting pushed out to make room for more classroom instructional time. I know a lot of schools and teachers are so worried about test scores, so they feel that recess time, which is just viewed mostly as just playtime, it's kind of looked down upon by many, and they think that the students should be in the classroom more. Like I said, many view recess as a waste of time, but in reality, it's a break from the desk that helps children refocus. The short time of recess can make all the difference for the instructional time throughout the day. Having this unstructured playtime gives children the opportunity to develop important social and emotional skills, which is essential to a well-rounded education. The AAP's policy statement on the role of recess in school cited 4 critical benefits of recess. 1, greater levels of physical activity and fitness. 2, improved attentiveness in class. 3, improved cognition and learning. And 4, practice of peer-to-peer social and emotional skills. The latter, often overlooked, is cited by child development experts as a fundamental skill set, laying the basis for social success in later life. One of the largest studies published on recess found that for 8 to 9-year-olds, at least one or more daily recess periods of at least 15 minutes was associated with better class behavior ratings from teachers than no daily recess or fewer minutes of recess. So this proposal intends to investigate if children who participate in more recess time will have less behavior problems in the classroom. This project predicts that an increase in recess time will eliminate most behavior problems in the classroom. The problem and purpose. The problem the study will address is behavior problems in the classroom. There has been an increase in student behavior problems across all grade levels. A report showed that 68% of elementary teachers, 64% of middle school teachers, and 53% of high school teachers stated they had seen an increase in behavior issues in the last 5 or more years of their teaching careers. Now, although this article was published in 2012, I and my colleagues would agree that this is accurate, if not more, honestly, as far as behavior problems go. I know I've seen more in the 7 years that I've been teaching, so I felt like this article and statement was still very accurate to today. This proposal will determine if more recess time will help eliminate classroom behavior problems. The researcher will use a student behavior frequency tally chart to evaluate the classroom behavior before recess and after recess each day. The researcher will also review assessment scores at the end of the 9 weeks. Although this study focuses more on the tally chart that I will be doing, I did want to add in at least seeing assessment scores at the end of the 9 weeks. The researcher believes that students will show improvement in their behavior after recess time each day. These are 2 graphs that I found. They were done for a study on 5th grade students. The first one being before recess. You'll see that green is where the students were on task. So this is the average time they were on task, and blue is the average time they were off task. It's very obvious that before recess, they were mostly off task, and after recess, that on task bar went up drastically. So just looking at this, the on task versus off task after recess is a lot different. Like I said, the study was done on 5th grade students, and it showed that the average time on task increased from before recess to after recess. The overall average increase for all students in time on task from before recess to after recess was 33.7%. During the 30-minute period following recess, 100% of the participants spent more time on task than they did off. Behavior problems are the main reason students get off task during the day. Behavior problems can be a huge distraction to the class and ultimately affect the learning of all students. Staying on task is a problem when the teacher has to constantly stop the lesson to tend to a behavior problem. And I didn't add this in, but I know a lot of ways that we have, as teachers, have to tend to a behavior problem is if it becomes too much of a distraction, you have to send that child to another class, to another teacher, to the principal, out in the hallway. Like there's so many places or so many things we have to do. So just to help majority of the class, but then you are negatively affecting that child's student achievement. So the goal is to keep all children in the class so that they all get the same amount of education and that there's no distractions or nothing to affect it for any one child. Just some benefits of recess, because I didn't focus on the actual impact of student achievement and more focused on other benefits just because of behavior. I wanted to add this in. Recess allows for students to take a brain break and exert some energy. This physical activity induces the release of beneficial proteins in the brain. So exercise literally helps your brain grow and stay healthy. Recess time helps decrease behavior problems. Students are able to get that energy out that is making it so hard for them to focus and stay still, pay attention. And I put this quote in: a 2009 study of 11,000 third graders published in Pediatrics shows that adding more play to the day, not less, improves the likelihood of better test scores and behavior. Other studies have concluded that children who have unstructured time during the school day exhibit greater creativity and problem-solving skills. They are less disruptive and learn crucial social lessons like how to resolve disputes and form cooperative relationships. Action plan and timeline. The experimental research plan will use quantitative methods for collecting data during the study for 9 weeks. A student behavior frequency tally chart will be used to evaluate the classroom behavior before recess and after recess each day. The goal is the study will show that recess time helps the students with behavior problems and improves the overall student achievement of the entire class. I hope to see that recess improves the students' problem-solving skills, social skills, and their overall well-being. The study will be conducted over a 9-week period. I will use the student behavior frequency tally chart to evaluate the classroom behavior before and after recess each day. This is the behavior frequency tally chart I will be using. It will focus on 5 behaviors, and for every time that these behaviors are seen, I will add a tally mark on that day. So for example, our 5 behaviors are staying on task, following directions, disrupting class, completing assignment on time, consequence was used. For example, we have instructional time from 8 to 10 before they get their recess break. And in that time, we do 3 activities. We do morning meeting, we do small group, and center time. So staying on task, were they able to stay on these 3 tasks? Because these are a task, all together. Were they able to follow directions during these times? Were there any disruptions during these times? Were the students able to complete any assignments that were given? And if so, and then were there any consequences used? So for example, a consequences we use in our class is the child being taken out of the activity or being moved. Child being sent to their table to sit, to take a break, just to take a brain break or something, just to take a break. And then 3, if it gets really out of hand, they go to see the principal. That doesn't happen that often, but it is there just in case. And then there's an after recess, which is the exact same chart, but this will be viewed during the time after recess. So we go to recess from 10 to 10:30. So this chart will be used from 10:30 to 12. So that's the time frame. And we do lunchtime, whole group, Haggerty, snack, and we're getting ready for nap and dismissal. So that's about 4 activities that I could really, see myself marking on for them. And that timeline, like I said, is from 10:30 to 12. The sample will consist of 18 students from an OSR first class pre-kindergarten classroom at Madison City Schools Pre-K Center. The ages of the students range from 4 to 5 years old. The class will participate in a 30-minute recess session each day. I will use the student behavior frequency tally chart to evaluate the classroom behavior before and after recess each day. The behavior frequency tally chart will be the method for data collection. The sample class was chosen at random from a total of 12 classrooms that are at this center. Collaborative resources. We don't collaborate with a lot of different teachers. We are in a building pretty much by ourselves, but the two that I did mention is one, my auxiliary teacher, and then two, the speech pathologist. So the researcher, which is me, I am the lead teacher of the classroom, and I have an auxiliary teacher who is my co-teacher. She's in there with me 24/7. Those are her students as well. The only difference as far as auxiliary teachers go is the education level. So they are not allowed to do paperwork, lesson plans, all that part of the teaching. So both teachers work the same hours and with the same students. The researcher will mark the chart each day unless they are out of the classroom at that time. And in that case, the auxiliary teacher will be able to step in and mark on the chart. The auxiliary teacher will be able to properly identify the behaviors of the class because she is also with these students every day. So I will show her what we're doing, and she will be able to mark on it if I'm not there. The speech pathologist will be given a copy of the student behavior frequency tally chart, and she will do her own markings on the days any of my students have to go see her. Ethical considerations. Some limitations could include students who miss school due to sickness or withdrawal. Their behavior of being out of routine could impact their classroom behavior. If we are not able to go to our daily recess some days due to other circumstances, it can affect the daily tracker sheet and make the results seem less accurate. If students become injured and are unable to participate in regular recess time, they will not be participating at recess the same way as the majority of the students and may not receive the same benefits because they are not actually getting to do the same activities. This research will have no risk to the students that are involved in the study. However, informed consent will be required from parents or guardians due to the age of the students. This is a copy of the consent form that will be sent out to parents or guardians. Results. I hope to see that the students are staying on task more. I hope to see better focus from the class during lesson time, during instructional time. I hope to see no behavior issues that might send a child out of the classroom, which, like I said earlier, will ultimately impact their student achievement. And then I added in the same quote from the article talking about the 11,000 third graders and all of the benefits that they were, gained from having recess. For my reflection, the things that I would change, I would like to do a pre and post evaluation on the students to determine more accurate student achievement data. Like I said, because of my grade level, we don't really do assessments and grades. So I didn't want to add that in. I wanted to focus more on what I'm already doing. So that's why I focused more on the behavior part. But I do, looking back on it now, I do regret that. And I kind of wish that I could have added in a pre and post evaluation just to be more accurate for student achievement. And then what additional research could be done? I would like to do research on the different activities during recess time that can benefit the students the most. So overall recess, used in this proposal was unstructured recess time. And I think unstructured recess time is very important and should definitely be the main source. But I would like to do additional research on maybe teacher-led activities during research or during recess time, maybe for the last 10 minutes or last 5 minutes, just to see if anything out of their environment or like out of the classroom environment, if that would benefit the students more academically or even behavior-wise, if there is like an in-between that we could do where they're still out of the classroom, so they're still getting that break, but then they're kind of winding down and getting better prepared to go back into classroom. So I would like to do additional research on that in-between time. And that is the end of my slideshow. So if you have any questions, let me know. That was my signature project, which was, focused on recess time and how it can improve student behavior. And I hope that you have a good day.